Police have stepped up their pursuit of Rowdy Kavala's assailants. 3 special teams have been formed, which will be headed by Krishnagiri SP Kannamma to nab the culprits. The cops suspect that Rowdy Shweeta Thirukumaran is behind the murder. They have launched a manhunt to nab Thirukumaran alias Kutti and have also visited his residence in Tamil Nadu. Now, the incident took place on Tuesday night when Kavala was returning home after participating in an audio release program of a Kannada movie in the city. ADGP V.S. Raja was also present at the function. Kavala was driving his Toyota Innova and was alone. Usually his henchmen follow him in 2 cars when he is in the city, but his aides had dropped him off at the Tamil Nadu border and returned to the city. Let's not forget that Kavala had taken shelter in Tamil Nadu after he had learned that he tops the CCB encounter list. Members of the gang, led by Kutti, are suspected to have waylaid Kavala's SUV at around 11 p.m. near Arampati checkpost. Sensing that he had been trapped, Kavala jumped off the driver's seat and started running away. Kavala slipped and fell down, and his assailants hacked him to death. But what exactly is this rivalry all about? Well, Thirukumar as well as Kavala go back a long time. Thirukumar alias Kutti was his one-time right-hand man in Deadly Soma's gang. Differences had cropped up between Kavala and Kutti over sharing the booty after Soma's death. They had parted ways, and that led to them forming independent gangs, trying every means to control the underworld. They often hatched plots and counter-plots to eliminate each other. In 2010, Kavala's gang ambushed Kutti in Chitradurga, wounding his face and right shoulder while the police were escorting him to a local court. The incident made Kutti determined to eliminate Kavala. In May 2013, police took Kavala and other rowdies into preventive custody ahead of the assembly elections. While in jail, he plotted to kill Kutti. After Kavala's release, Kutti's men are said to have tipped off about the former's plans. Kutti then decided to eliminate Kavala before the latter succeeded in his attempts. And while N. Srinivasan has been confirmed as the ICC chairman, he was confirmed as the chairman of the International Cricket Council after the 52-member full council approved amendments. Srinivasan was nominated by the BCCI for the top position and will assume charge following the conclusion of the ICC annual conference week. Srinivasan said that it was an honour to become the ICC chairman and promised that the ICC will continue to play a leading role in the promotion and development of the global game. Srinivasan had been under the scanner for his son-in-law Gurunath Mayappan's alleged involvement in IPL betting scam, but he has been appointed despite the charges. Srinivasan had been nominated by the BCCI despite the Supreme Court restraining him from carrying out his duties as the board president. He is under investigations by the Justice Mukul Mudgal Committee for alleged corruption relating to the IPL. The Supreme Court also declined to issue orders preventing Srinivasan from taking over as the ICC chairman, despite repeated pleas from the Cricket Association of Bihar asking him to do so. Well, in fact, N. Srinivasan has been confirmed as the ICC's first chairman after the constitutional changes were made to the governing body and were passed in the annual conference in Melbourne today. After being appointed, he said that he was honoured to be confirmed as the chairman of the ICC and that he will leave no stone unturned to strengthen the pillars and foundation of the sport, both on and off the field. People wonder why people do not pay heed to repeated warnings and still choose to put their lives at risk. Well, call it basic human instinct or an overdose of adrenaline. But such people are proving to be a menace for lifeguards deployed at the Karavali coastline.
A calm and serene beach. Visitors staring endlessly at the waves and enjoying their quiet time. There could be no better form of recreation than spending some time at the beach. The picture here seems perfect except for the lifeguards and police personnel who seem to be sticking out like a sore thumb. Wondering why so many personnel have been deployed on a site as harmless as a beach? Well, that is simply to watch over these happy visitors who should not have stepped into the sea in the first place.
ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಪ್ರವಾಸಿಗರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಸನ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮದು ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಲೋಕಲಾಗಿ ಸೋಷಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಫ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಈಗ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಅಲೆಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಮತ್ತು ಸತ್ತು ಹೋದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಣೆ ಯಾರು? ನಾವು ಲೈಫ್ ಗಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಮತ್ತು ಪೊಲೀಸ್ನವ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನವ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಮಾತನಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಒಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಸಮುದ್ರ ಆಗೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Yes, all thanks to the monsoon, the sea has become turbulent near the Karavali shoreline. As a result, authorities have stepped into an overdrive trying to keep visitors out of the deadly water. Despite repeated warnings, these thrill seekers can't seem to stay out of the sea.
तो ये काफ़ी ब्यूटीफुल जगह है, पर अभी काफ़ी लहरें चल रही हैं यहाँ पे, तो थोड़ा सा डर भी लग रहा है, लेकिन बाकी तो ये बहुत अच्छी जगह है और यहाँ सेफ्टी भी है.
Little do they realize that they are putting their life at risk in exchange for a few moments of pleasure. And thanks to their lack of self-control, these personnel have a tough time patrolling the beaches. Several people have lost their life by not paying heed to the repeated warnings. If that is not reason enough to stay out of these waters, then what is? Arabilachi Yogaraj, News 9, Udupi.
Well, after Amma Canteens, Water and Salt, Jayalalitha has launched Amma Pharmacies today. The Tamil Nadu government has launched 100 such pharmacies across the state, with 10 being in Chennai and 90 spread across in different other parts of the state. These medical shops will sell medicines at a subsidized rate to the general public. The government has allotted 20 crore rupees for this project. 100 outlets of Amma Pharmacies have opened today. They will be selling medicines at affordable prices with just 4% profit as against 14% profit usually. Amma Canteens were first off the mark, selling food items at subsidized rates. This was followed by Amma Packaged Water. Last month, she unveiled 3 varieties of low-cost salt, double fortified, low sodium and refined free-flow iodized. Well, my colleague Akshita joins us with more details on this. Well, Akshita, what more can you tell us?
Well, Nishita, as you mentioned, of course, we've seen a lot of populist measures being taken up by Jayalalitha, and once again, yet another one that definitely will catch the eye of a lot of people and will go ahead and praise this scheme. We understand, of course, that this was in the offing, considering it was mentioned in the state budget in February, and also, of course, about 20 crore rupees has been allocated for this particular project. We understand, as you mentioned, that there will be 100 pharmacies across the state, 10 in Chennai, of course, and 90 in the rest of the state. In the last many months, the government has stated that they were in fact conducting a survey of sorts to find out exactly where there's a dire need for pharmacies and where there's high demand, and that's why they've gone ahead and set up these pharmacies. Also, of course, one of the ministers also went on to state that the Chief Minister Jayalalitha has made it very clear she wants to provide all kinds of medicine, not just, of course, routine drugs, but also those that are life-saving at affordable costs to the common man. It is understood, of course, that there will be probably a discount of 10% when you compare it to normal medical stores and Amma pharmacies. Also, we understand that they're buying medicines from these drug retail outfits at bulk, and while they provide them a discount as well, they provide the users as well a huge discount. So no doubt it's going to be very, very popular among the rural class as well, because it will mean that they can afford whatever they want, all the medicines. We're not talking about just routine, but also life-saving drugs here, Nishita. We also understand that it's not just going to be a basic pharmacy. Each of these outlets will be air-conditioned. They're spending about 20 lakh rupees to ensure that all of these particular outlets are provided with the best of facilities. So it looks like Jayalalitha is definitely resorting to all sorts of populist measures to go ahead and reach out to the people of Tamil Nadu, Nishita.
Right, absolutely. While on one hand, looks like the poor are happy and the government too is pleased with the implementation of this project, there is a lot of criticism coming in as well, with certain experts claiming that this project could be misused by those who can afford the real medicines, and also local pharmacists not really being happy, saying that their business could be severely affected.
Absolutely, Nishita. In fact, with every single outlet or rather scheme that she's launched, there are a couple of repercussions that need to be taken into account. But it looks like the Chief Minister's turned a deaf ear to all of that. She's made it very clear that if she wants to go ahead with this scheme, she will, no matter what kind of criticism comes her way. There's bound to, of course, feel a sort of a pinch for all the other outlets out there, especially all the medical pharmacies who are placed across Chennai. They will definitely feel the pinch because we understand that 10 of these will be in Chennai alone. Now, while the minister stated that there has been a detailed survey done to find out exactly where they need to set this up, we will have to look into exactly whether they've put these up in very urban areas as well, because no doubt at the end of the day, even if the medicines are cheap, the facilities are good, so everyone is going to throng to these stores because they get to save up on money. So we will have to wait and watch to see if this particular scheme by Amma is successful or not. No doubt the rural class will be rejoicing, but the question is whether in fact this will lead to a pinch for the other medical outlets out there, and whether they will be affected by the same, Nishita.
Right, thank you, Akshita, for joining us with all those details. And well, a man found out what happens when you mess with an alligator. He ended up with 80 stitches after the gator snapped at his arm and will count himself lucky to have survived the attack.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
An alligator clamps its jaws around a man's hand, leaving him with nasty gashes as he attempts to move it from the road.
Oh my God.
Glenn Bonin and two friends came across the giant reptile holding up traffic in Sulphur, Louisiana.
You better jump on him!
The pals tried to use their shirts to blindfold the alligator before moving it to safety. However, the alligator had other ideas, sinking its teeth into Glenn's left hand.
He got him.
Oh, I gotta go to the hospital, yo.
The 23-year-old managed to pull his hand away, but was left with 80 stitches as a reminder of the event.